Aloha, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Freedom Fridays. So happy that you're here because we're in store for an amazing treat and we have an awesome topic. We're going to be talking about unlocking your potential through self-worth transformation. And before we get into it, I want to introduce you to our amazing special guest that I have here. I want to let you know what is the purpose of this show. The purpose of the Freedom Friday show is to support you as an entrepreneur in achieving your success in business and life harmony. Because it really is two sides of the same coin. We never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life. And it is 100% possible to work smarter, stress less, strengthen our relationships, lead with much more energy, ease, and momentum. That's what it's all about. So, we have awesome free gifts for you. And let me just let you know who our special guest is. Hi, Andre. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Woohoo! Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, my honor and pleasure. I cannot wait till we hear the wisdom that you have because you are definitely a man of awesome transformation. And I'm going to let them know who a little bit more about you right now. So, Endre Hoffmann is a speaker, author, and mentor, also best known as the Doctor of Self Worth. He has traveled to 70 countries and 5 continents to find his lost self worth, and he moved countries. He spent over $100,000 of all kinds of personal development tools without a breakthrough. So Andre now helps business leaders and individuals who experience inner struggle, self-doubt, exhaustion, working hard, maybe even plagued by negative thinking. And he removes these internal conflicts and struggles from their mind to achieve confidence and peace. He reconnects his clients from all over the world to their authentic leadership and naturally high self worth. His clients unlock their emotional freedom and multiply their impact in their business and life. And by gaining a new image of self, a new self image, they tap into their true genius and true purpose. And one of his first clients started to call him Doctor of Self Worth, and I would guess it had totally stuck. So, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Thank you for being of service and this capacity and letting people step into their unlimited potential, their full potential, unlocking their full potential. The first question I have for you, I want to hear from you, like, why is this something that's so important, especially for those of us who are entrepreneurs?
I believe it's self-worth. What a surprise, huh? And I think it's tied to the identity of the entrepreneur. What does that mean? It's someone who is, I think, is very playful, is creative, and is having fun, like a child on a playground. And I believe then being conscious to see what works and do more of that. And it's ideal to have whatever activity that is that's marketable, that people pay for, and the person loves doing it. So I think as long as those tick boxes are marked and there is contribution and somebody is winning, both ends wins, I think an entrepreneur is born. And then we want to expand from this beautiful place where we are taking people from point A to point B, bringing a result to then scale that if that's what we want to do as entrepreneurs. I don't know how that resonates. I've never shared that before.
Oh, I love it. I love it because as you were talking and my audience usually knows that I always talk about, how your business is an extension of all that you are. Your relationships are an extension of all that you are. Every area of life is an extension of all that you are. So that part that you're talking about with that intrinsic freedom, then we can grow, we can expand, we can scale, and we can get to, I love the part that you mentioned where it's playful, it's fun. We enjoy the journey of entrepreneurship as compared to going through the mental and emotional roller coaster of struggling and trying to figure it out. We just get to be our authentic selves and do what we're called to do. So, yes, 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 that matters. So good. So good. Well, I'm sure that we want to know, like, first of all, what's coming to me is like, how do you know how to, like, what, because sometimes people can be going through these challenges of like, I don't know what's going on with this inner struggle, but they may not be able to interpret it or even be aware of it. Like, what are some common signs and symptoms that you've kind of identified on your journey that people could look out for to know that, man, there's something I need to shift inside?
I would say one is certainly have a committee of negative doubting Thomases in your head. And this could be feelings of doubt or not good enough, not feeling smart enough, and have probably someone else's voices echoing in your head. And I normally find that it's someone else's voice that was stuck with you for so long that you forgot that it wasn't yours. You just sort of adopted it from an authority earlier in your life. The other one is feeling rejected. For example, whether it's a business deal, whether it is a business partnership, or at sales where they won't seem to like your offer. I mean, if there is a pattern that's been going on, obviously you somehow create that. And I love to find out your formula and then change the recipe, change the formula so you get the result that you are looking for. I mean, the other one is the unworthiness. That's a fairly big one. I don't deserve it. I'm unworthy. I'm not worthy. There is so many versions of uh, of lack of self-worth and lack of confidence. There is there's the not smart enough, the not enough. That's a big thing too. Not smart enough, haven't got enough time, haven't got enough money, and the mind goes sort of cross contextual. Like sometimes I talk to people and then I find out, oh, they haven't got enough money. Interesting. Then they haven't got enough time, and then we find that they don't feel good enough. So good enough pretty much runs the ship, and they are
Nice.
wondering why they are not feeling good about themselves, why it sucks to be in their skin, and how come they are not achieving the results that they're looking for. So yeah, there's plenty more. Uh,
That's
but
so good.
look at your results. I think that's the key. If you're able to look at your life, look at what does not work for you, where are the hiccups, where do you seem to repeat less than optimal results, it tells you a lot. And please don't look for reasons outside of yourself because then we can save you a few decades. If
Yes.
if you ask like the big question, like how do I seem to attract these things yet I don't know how I create it, then you are getting really close to the root of the issues, especially if it's been happening for years or decades, because usually I find decades.
Nice. Oh my goodness, that's so good because it's like I always talk about how we don't attract what we want, we attract what we are. So if there's this feeling of not good enough, right? Then we attract these situations and these circumstances and experiences that kind of reinforce that belief or so forth that we have. And what you're saying, and it's almost interesting because if they're experiencing this not enough time, it's not enough money, it's like it's almost that's exactly why you want to do the inner work. So therefore you can shift what you attract. Oh my goodness, that's so good. So good. Well, so now that we have a clear idea of what to look for, right? So everyone who's listening, if you're experiencing these things, you want to lean in even more because I would love for you to share with us what are just a couple of tips and strategies that we can be able to do to start tapping into our self-worth um like right away? Like what's in addition to coming and hanging out with you, but what is something like that you can be able to share with us that can really kind of help us shift that or even bring more awareness to, okay, this is interesting.
I say once upon a time, you did have your intact, authentic self-worth. And things started to happen, probably outside of your control. Things around you, school, mom, dad, events where you could have been humiliated or mocked at, all types. And slowly, a lot of people just always give away a tiny bit of self-confidence, a tiny bit of self-worth. And then at one point, their lives start to slide and they live a smaller and smaller life, or a smaller and smaller, tinier version of themselves. And that's when I usually get the call and they say, now this, I had enough of not having what I want, and to feel like the universe is against me, or I'm unlucky. Now that's a big one too. Like as you said, Heather, I mean, if you believe that you are unlucky, then you're literally looking for the evidence, and then you become an evidence gatherer.
Right.
Literally, you put on the "I'm unlucky" filter, and all you will see thousands and thousands of things happening in front of you, but you will always pick up on those few cues that tells you that you're right. You're unlucky. Things are not working out, and you need to take this off. So then you will see the truth, and especially around traumatic events that usually steals people's self-worth without them noticing what happened. I usually take people back a bit with time travel, and then they can gather a lot more information as to what has happened. So they are not magnifying that one smirk on one's face, or that look, or that strange face, or that type of one word where it says you are stupid, or you can't do this, or whatever it is. So it's about the mind and what the mind picks up at certain places, certain events, and obviously they get more intense with negative emotions switching on, like being anger, frustration, or fears, sadness, or at times,
Like a compounding effect.
yeah. Sometimes there is even more emotions under or behind certain emotional blocks, but we can find them, and you want to look for. Probably that's a good exercise as well. I sometimes challenge the audience, and here you are, being our audience. Like, ask yourself, what's my emotional dwelling place? Like, where do I go home? Where do I spend most of the time? Am I in despair? Am I depressed? Is it hopeless? Am I frustrated? That's my favorite place to go. So I'm really looking for triggers to really bring that frustration out of me. Or is it more so ideally peace, or it could be excitement, or hope, or love? Because a lot of people, without realizing, they have brought with themselves, or they have created this emotional dwelling place, and it doesn't seem to change easily. It's their natural way of being, and usually it's borrowed from someone who they have spent time with, mom, dad, and it could be, a lot of times I've heard, anxiety or sadness, guilt, and then you don't even know that you've been carrying this with you for a long time. It's the example from my book, How to Discover Your Authentic Self-Worth. You find it on my webpage. is it's almost like asking this fish in a fish tank to, like you would ask this poor fish, like, what is water? And I imagine this small being has known water only in his or her own life, nothing else. And now you're asking, what is water? And you would almost, lift that fish up and like, look at that tank. Like, that's what you've been living for the last 5 or 10 years.
Oh my goodness.
And that is water. And that's the experience. Sometimes my clients saying, oh, I've been in a fog, but I didn't know. And now I can see where I had been. And I will never go back there.
It's so good because, like the analogy that I like to use is like, okay, we're born and we have this beautiful empty backpack, right? And then as we're going through life and there's some significant emotional events or these voices or these people, right? It's like we end up adding rocks to the backpack, right? So like as we continue on, we just keep adding. So it's this unconscious heaviness weight that we don't even know that's there. I'm glad that the fish actually asked, what's water? Because at least he started with the awareness, right? That, okay, there's this challenge that we need to get clear so we can, be one with that and break free from that. And it doesn't have to be like that. Like this part that you mentioned with all that you were sharing with us is this realization that we don't have to have a great past to have a great future. Once we get aware of what all that stuff is and where these things are coming from, or even where our go-to place emotion is, that gives us awareness of what we're attracting, how we're being, and then we get to choose to reach out to amazing people like you to shift that. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yes, I really love that approach. What came to me was like, let's say your life sucks. I can't say it any nicer. Like, things are not going well. If you put on the right type of, let's say, filters in front of your eyes, I'm looking for another demonstration tool here. Maybe this one, 2025. Like this year, I'm going to look for goodness and miracles, right? You could literally have 20 things not working out in a day. And I had this. So I'm talking from experience, and then have that one thing, the miracle that I've been waiting for, and that's what you be listening and paying attention to.
Nice.
And then that's what you magnify. So think of, you always have filters on, but what are you filtering and how are you filtering? And did you want to change those filters front of your five senses? It's not just the eyes, it's just for demonstration. But if you're able to pick out and not on autopilot, but really look for evidence of what you want, guess what's going to happen?
What's gonna happen?
You probably find more and more and more of what you want.
Yay.
Please don't think it's done in a day. But you can always have those first few steps that are, I'll be looking for more peace today. Or where there is these triggering people around or angry people around. Like, as the Course in Miracles says in one of those daily lessons, I can choose peace rather than this.
Nice.
So you could still create your freedom, even though you might be in a crazy environment of hatred or division. That's what we see happening, I guess, around the world, and also in the US.
So good. So good. Because, it's so interesting what we focus on expands. So just these two nuggets that you shared with us, so valuable. So if you find yourself in these places, like really take these into account, getting that clarity of where does my emotional dwelling happen? And then what is it that I want to focus on instead? It was reminding me of this picture that I posted on Facebook recently where it says something about, emotions are like waves, they're going to come. Right. But you choose which waves to ride. So I think it was like these two waves of like anger and shame or something, and they're coming in, but the image is that she's riding the joy one. So I love that analogy that you shared with us, because yeah, what we focus on expands. So good. Andre, how can we continue this conversation with you? How can we stay connected? Do you have a free gift or something that you can be able to share with us that can lead us to continue this journey?
Absolutely. I do have free resources on my website. The website is doctorofselfworth.com. So it's all in one word, DOCTOR of selfworth.com. And there's a tab free. And you will find probably this one would help you. Have you had enough of struggling in your business? And I have a 10-step guide to really create a blueprint so you're not feeling that you're failing. I think that's like, these are questions probably you've never asked yourself. And this is setting you up to play and see what works. I think that's what business is initially. So if you're able to use that map, you will have amazing experiences, and you will find yourself earning money at one point. And I always stress that if you are establishing a business, so you have not worked out exactly how you help people yet, then it's about exploration. It's about really working out what works best, what people appreciate the most, and where is that point A, where is the point B, where you can take people to, and obviously what they are prepared to pay for it, and do they see the value? Because if you tick all of those boxes, then, well, that's really what it takes to create a business today.
Nice. It's
Find
like,
a problem.
I think it's like, we got the purpose, but what you're talking about with this roadmap, I feel like is going to help us get to is even amplifying the passion in our heart space and that joy in it, which is going to be this beautiful natural byproduct of more prosperity and abundance. Yeah.
Find a profitable problem that you love to solve.
Nice. Okay.
You've got a business.
So based on everything that you've shared with us, and I mean, so many good nuggets, I want everyone to put their biggest takeaways in the comments below. What spoke most to you in this session? But based on everything that you shared with us, what would be the biggest takeaway that you want to leave us with today?
Probably, if you are struggling, and struggling in life, struggling in business, perhaps, I still believe that, yes, you need strategies to do things the way that work. This is, for example, how you run your social media posts, all of that. But I think this mindset piece of identity of who I am, and actually believing that you deserve success, you deserve more money, success, fame, all of that. I think that's sometimes the biggest one step to take. And if you're failing, like you still have those negative things going on in your head, in your heart, then just shorten the path. Like really look for someone to take that shift with. Because it took me 15 years. And another 5 years it took me to believe, like these are just beliefs, to believe that I can earn money doing what I love. Like that took me 5 years. Please, just get a specialist. Like
Yeah.
problem with your shoes, like get the right person on the job. You have a legal problem, go and see a lawyer. Medical problem, see a doctor. Like don't Don't waste your time because you
Wow.
can't get it back.
So
You miss opportunities, partnerships, and deals, and who knows when they again will be presented to you.
oh my goodness.
Allow your results to teach you about your limitations, and then ask for help. Be your best investment.
So good. So good. Everyone who's listening in Another Level Living Land, let this message marinate over your mind, body, and soul all week and beyond. Make sure you get Andre's free gift that he has given us. Stay connected with him. Thank you for this amazing words of wisdom, because you're so right. Now is the time. You know, it's interesting with all these beliefs about time, money, and love. Those things can come and go, and it's a beautiful ebb and flow as you figure those out, but the time is the one thing that you can never get back. So we want to be able to make sure we utilize that time instead of keeping that backpack and still going or still trying to figure out, well, what is water? Just know, and therefore you'll be in the flow. It's about leaning in, letting go, and leaping forward. Andre, thank you so much for blessing us with your wisdom today. This has been absolutely amazing, and we're just so grateful for you and your service. And I know a lot of people are going to be impacted by what you shared with us today.
Thank you, Heather. It was so much fun. I really love sharing wisdom with you in co-creating this space. See you.
Yes, thank you. All right, so everyone in Another Level Living Land, you know that sharing is caring. So if you were given this inspiration of unlocking your potential with self-worth transformations and elevating your self-worth, go ahead and share this message out with the world and give someone else this gift, because we know that the more that we need this, right, as we step into our own beautiful uniqueness, light, and aloha, we can also be able to hold the space and support other people. And just by you sharing this out, you could be changing and saving someone's life. So we look forward to seeing you again on another episode next week of Freedom Fridays. In the meantime, have an amazing rest of the day, and click on the links that are in the chat, in the comments below. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye, everyone.
See you soon.